Was geht up? This is Tom from Stray from the Path, and you're watching Grassa Production.
Hi, my name's Lucas, you're watching Grassa Productions, and with me tonight here in Nuremberg is Tom from the magnificent band Stray from the Path. Tom, how are you doing? How's the tour so far?
Doing pretty good. Tour's sick. Very, very good. Probably the best support tour we've done in a long time. So yeah, it's been cool. Everyone, we didn't know any of the bands coming into it. I mean, we kind of knew While She Sleeps personally a little bit. But yeah, getting along with everyone, having a good time. It's cool.
As you just mentioned, you're supporting While She Sleeps on their album release tour right now. The lineup is pretty diverse, musically and nationality-wise also. How did you end up on the billing?
I mean, they just asked us to do it. I mean, we've been trying to connect with them for a while. Yeah. They sent us like an offer to do their tour with Cancer Bats a long time ago. And we couldn't do it or something, whatever. But so yeah, we've been trying to link up for a while, and I think perfect timing. Like, I feel like both our bands are in a better spot to do it now on a bigger scale. So and it's cool because it's like their record release tour, so it's, you know, well attended. Their fans have been awesome, and yeah, it's been great. I mean, touring with Trash Boat's really cool, and then Landmarks, which we're sharing a bus that we're in right now with them, and getting along with them very well too. So yeah, everything's been very cool. Big shows, good people. That's all you could ask for, really.
That sounds great. So the fans are taking the lineup well.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I feel like everyone's having pretty successful nights as far as, like, you know, reaction wise and selling shit, and, you know, so gaining new fans. You know, it's cool that we could look on the internet and see people that didn't know who we were, you know, even though we've been doing this for a long time. Like, you know, some people just aren't that in tune with the scene, so, you know, cool. It opens us up to like a lot of new people, and I think it's going to help us expand our fan base overseas, you know.
But you did expand your fan base over the past few years too, so you managed to play some big shows, some great festivals over the past 2 years. Would you have imagined ending up in that place? And what are your goals for the next few years?
I mean, I guess I always imagined it. That's why I did it. I mean, but, you know, but like sometimes you could imagine things that just don't happen. And then, so we've definitely been very fortunate as far as the opportunities we've been given, and especially overseas. You know, like, it's weird because we're a very political band, and in America, depending on where you are, they don't really like that. So, you know, we've seen like certain places like Texas, for example, where, you know, we used to do really well, and now it's like a super, you know, red state or whatever, and now we don't do as well there. But then we see overseas, and a lot of people who are also critical of our country, like, start to kind of connect with us more than they used to. So, you know, they start seeing us get all like more, you know, more fans in Germany and England and Australia and Japan and Canada and all that. But then you see like Texas and Alabama and Florida, like, not really, you know, care as much as they used to. So, you know, it's a trade-off thing. It's kind of comes with the territory of our band, you know, like, and back again, like going like with the States, depending on where you are, if you go to like a more progressive city like Denver or, you know, California or something, then you start to do better there too. So it's a constant seesaw with America, you know.
So we'll talk about politics a little bit later in the interview. But what do you like more? Do you like big festival stages or small, sweaty venues like the one you're playing tonight?
I mean, it's like asking if I like sushi better than pizza, you know. It's like, I love them both for different reasons, you know. Right now I'm definitely in the mode of playing like bigger clubs, and I love playing big festivals, but then it also is nothing like playing a 300 cap room or a room the size of this room and just being nuts, you know. So I like it all, and it's very fortunate that we could go from, you know, playing to 40,000 people in France at Hellfest, and then playing to 200 people in the middle of fucking, you know, Dusseldorf or something, you know, like, which is literally what we did over the summer. So, you know, we get it all. So it's like, you know, it's a variety of, you know, every day's different, you know, but in a good way.
So apart from being a very political band, what does Stray from the Path make stand out among others?
I would probably like to say that, like, we besides the political, you know, standpoint of our band, which to me is one area. The other area is that it's 4 people, and we actually play our instruments. We actually write the songs ourselves, and you know, and I personally care about, like, when I write songs, that I want them to be good and interesting and not just there. When a lot of bands these days have ghostwriters and like they, you know, have backing tracks that are more than people on stage, and I just think that that's fucking lame. So it's like, you know, there's the political side of us that is but just as important is the music, where, you know, it's always going to be no backing tracks, 4 people actually playing their instruments and actually playing songs that they wrote, and that's important to me. Which is, it's insane to say that that's a thing that I like, because it's like you would think that that's just the way it goes, but it's fucking not. Like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of bands out there that they don't write their records, that are out there, they're playing God knows what through their backing tracks, and it's a circus. It's so, you know, that's, the music cares to me. I'm a musician before I'm a political person, or whatever you want to call it. So
do you have any other tour plans for this year?
Yeah, just got started. If we didn't, we'd be in trouble, huh?
All right.
I mean, but honestly, we go from this tour directly into the studio. We do our next record, and then we're gonna be off from May to August, and then once September hits, it's kind of we're gonna go nuts. We're gonna hit everywhere. So I think we come back here in December.
All right. Do you have any kind of release date for the next record?
No, nothing.
Not yet.
No release date. It'll probably be out in the fall, but yeah, it's not even recorded yet, so we'll see.
Of course not. So one thing about touring, which I find pretty interesting, was I looked up the top 5 Spotify cities of Stay From The Path.
Okay.
Have you any idea
what our top 5 cities are?
Yeah.
I do. I mean, they might change by now. Top 5 cities in Europe or in the world? Okay, London is number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think it's Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And then Denver or New York.
New York's not even on the list.
No, it's not. That doesn't surprise me. Like, we're a New York band, and we love New York. In New York, we just played New York the day before the last day of our last tour, and we didn't know what it was going to be like, and it was phenomenal. But, you know, like, New York and us, like, we never really get recognized from New York as, like, being a New York band. Like, I saw some list that was like, oh, top 10 bands of Long Island for all time. I was like, oh, cool. I clicked it, and I was like, we weren't even fucking mentioned. I was like, and there was all these bands, not that I give a fuck, but it's like, there were these bands that, like, I've never even heard of, and then I looked into them, and they, like, don't do anything. And I'm like, man, we've played, like, 40 countries. We played fucking Africa. Like, we played, like, huge festivals. We've toured with big bands and shit, and, like, we put out 5 records, 6 records, whatever the fuck it is. And we're not even on number 10. You know what I mean? It was like, but whatever. So what did I say? There was London, Chicago. Denver's wrong. Denver's wrong. It's weird. See, like, I know Montreal is not on there. It's not in there, right?
No.
So, but Montreal, I would put, like, as, like, 1 or 2. Yeah. Like, I'd put it up there with London. 1 more American city. Yeah. Los Angeles.
Yes.
Okay. And then 2 more. Is 1 Australian?
No.
They're 2 European.
Yeah.
Not England.
No.
Okay. Fuck. Berlin.
Yes.
Okay. And another Paris.
No, it's also German.
Also German, huh? I'm trying to think, where's our best Germany spots? Is it Nuremberg?
No, it's Hamburg.
Hamburg. Yeah. One of the burgs.
One of the burgs. Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it really is. So, do you consider this when you plan tours?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, sometimes, like, if we're doing support tours, it's like, oh, we get no say. But when we do our headliners, like, yeah, we see, those lists are deceiving though. Like, so, like, I would put, again, Montreal above Los Angeles, you know, as far as, like, how our shows are. But Montreal, I don't think, it's, like, barely in the top 10, you know. So it's like they're a little deceiving. And, like, even Denver and Atlanta, like, she didn't, you know, name, or Birmingham or Cologne. Like, Cologne to me would be better than Berlin as far as our, like, the craziness of the shows, you know. But so yeah, we do to an extent. I mean, that's why I knew the list pretty decently well, you know, because I do look at it often. But yeah, definitely keep it, you know, just who's listening, you know, because sometimes we don't want to. But then, you know, I would have never known that we do well in Warsaw, Poland. You know, we'd never go there, but we played there a couple of days. It was fucking great. So it's like, and that's probably not even on the top 10 or 20 or 30, but it was pretty, it should be from that show we just did. So, you know, it's a good guide, but you can't like bet on it, you know.
So we briefly spoke about your coming record. How do you guys write songs? Do you write them all together in a tuning room or in a studio?
I mean, I usually write it all myself for the most part. There are some songs where we do it all together in a room, but even if I write a song by myself, then I usually bring it to Craig, and then we get it to a certain point, then we bring it to Drew and Neck, and then we kind of do it all together, and then, you know, sometimes it stays the same, sometimes it changes completely, and then from there it goes to Will Putney, who's, when we write music, and, you know, he's been our producer for the past Rising Sun, Anonymous, so this will be his 5th record he's about to do with us, and he's like a band member when we're in the studio. So you know, as it gets through the like assembly line of me and Craig, me and the other 3, and then to Will is like, does it make the cut, you know, kind of from there, because there'll be times where, like, you know, we all think a song is awesome. And I remember the opening move, the first track on the newest record, was like this 5-minute song, and we all loved it. And then one day he comes in, he's like, this song is not as good as you think it is. Yeah. And we're like, oh shit, and we chopped it up to like a 1.5-minute intro, like, kind of thing. So once it gets to Will is like kind of when you know, it's like the last line of defense almost. So but you know, it's cool. Like I think ever since Craig joined, there's been a better chemistry of like writing and whatnot. So yeah, it's cool.
So, as you already mentioned, maybe 100 times, you're a very political band. Yeah. How's life in the US right now?
It's exhausting.
Do you enjoy the time on the road outside of the USA?
So I mean, when I'm home, like I don't want to say like I'm ignorant to it, but it's just like where I live, you know, where we live, it's like, it's not like that. Like, it's not, you know, fucking complete like racist everywhere you look and political distress and, you know, whatever, but it does exist. And the fact that it's just so exhausting, man, it's like every day it's something different, and I'm just like, to the point where I'm like, it's so much to even keep up with it. And I don't know, I mean, we got another year left of this shit, and then we'll see where it goes, but because it'll be rough if he definitely gets elected again, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, it's a mess, you know. And now it's like everyone fucking, Democrats and Republicans, just constantly fucking fighting, and it's like, you know, every time I gotta see, you know, him talking shit about Elizabeth Warren, and then she fires back, and I'm just like, oh god, you guys, so embarrassing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, and then anyone that like, all these like Make America Great Again people, like, I'd bet that 100% of them have never left the country, you know. And it's like, no, and it's like, you know, I've had family members and close friends that were, you know, not like that, but like, you know, they were like, oh, well, maybe we should have immigration reform and whatever they call immigration reform when they talk about the wall or whatever. But it's like, and then they leave the country, and it's like, man, what is America doing? You know, it's like, everyone's, you know, that's why we have that Loudest in the Room song, like, greatest country in the world. Like, the fuck do you mean? Like, we wrote that because it was like, I was saying that, like, yo, we've been to a lot of places, and it is not the best. Like, let me know when you motherfuckers that have this Make America Great Again, let me know when you get to Japan, and then you tell me what's the best fucking country in the world. You know what I mean? Or, you know, even fucking New Zealand and Canada, honestly, and fucking Germany and France. It's like, dude, like, not only are those places beautiful, but everyone friendly and shit. It's like, obviously, those countries have their own political problems as well, but it isn't like America. Like, you know, politicians are just born the worst, no matter where they're from. But we just have the worst kind of breed, you know. The guy's not even a politician. No. He's a fucking crooked businessman, a failed businessman who just scammed everybody, you know. So, and he's scamming the whole country right now, half the country at least.
So, do you inform yourself about the political situations in the countries you play in?
As much as I can, you know, like, once it makes its way over to me, like, then I kind of like will look as much as I can, like, with what's up with France and like the whole, like, you know, yellow vest stuff is like, I mean, some of that stuff is insane, and like I wish, I get jealous because you know, like they fucking like liquefy shit to spray all over like the Parliament building. I'm like, these guys are sick, you know. But we do and we don't. I mean, it's so much to like. It's just so much to the point where it's like it makes you depressed, you know. And it's like, but you know, we want to be involved as much as we can, you know. But it's, you know, it is what it is, you know.
It is.
It is.
So, talking about other bands, there are a lot of political bands. I mean, While She Sleeps is a political band to me, at least. I think they see themselves as one too.
I would too. I would say yes.
Yeah. There are other bands from the UK mostly, Enter Shikari, Architects.
Love them both.
Love them both. Do you think that bands have to get political at some point?
I mean, I think most adults do, and that's why you see those bands as they grow older start to talk more about it. You know, it's weird because some bands will do it because it's like, you know, those bands you just named are all doing really well. You know, Stray from the Path is starting to do really well. While She Sleeps is doing really well. And Shikari, Architects is doing really well. So I think other bands will see that and then they start, you know, getting involved, which I don't want to sound like a fucking dork, but like, you know, because if you want to get in, I'm all in on it. But there's just people that I know, and then I see them doing it, and I'm like, man, you don't give a fuck, you know, like
You didn't before.
you didn't before, and it's like, I don't know. So it's like I don't want to be the old bitter man of like, I did it first, you know. And it's like even with Goodnight Alt-Right, like, you know, we called that before it popped off, and that's why when that video came out and we were under such, you know, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to say attack, but like attack. And no one had our back, band-wise, you know. Besides the ones that you mentioned, you know, Architects and Enter Shikari and Anti-Flag, like bands that have been doing it. They were the ones that were like, yeah, fuck yeah, like, you know, sticking with Stray and whatnot. And then, you know, after that, Charlottesville happened, and then that's when everyone like, oh fuck, like those people do exist. And it's a fucking problem, and now everyone's on it, and shit. It's like, which is good because I want everyone to be fucking against them. But it's like, you know, sometimes you see bands, and I've seen too much behind the curtain of like what people really are, and so, but you know, there are some people that have definitely turned to more like, you know, being politically aware and whatnot, and it's like, you know, awesome, and I'm with you on that, you know, so yeah.
So you already said you're firstly a musician and then a political person.
Yeah.
But would you say that this motivation changes?
Maybe not motivation, like, but priority. Like, like I could care about politics all the time, you know, but it's like people really only care about the opinion because they like the music too, you know. So it's like maybe they go hand in hand, but I mean, writing music makes me happy. I've been doing since I was 14, you know? So it's like, that's why I put myself above that too. Like, that's what I find joy in. Like, I'm not trying to be a fucking angry, miserable person all the time. I just, you know, we write about stuff that matters to us. You know, we have plenty of songs that are personal songs about relationships, friendships, fucking, you know, family members or, you know, whatever. Like, that stuff exists on our music. But people like the fucking, you know, even, you know, Die Pig, which is about sexual predators within the scene. Like, that's not a political song. I mean, maybe it is a little bit because it's standing up for, you know, people that are being, you know, manipulated and whatnot. So, but it's more of like a socially aware song. But, you know, we write songs about other things. It's just, but people seem to always look at us for like the political shit. But again, we just write about shit that we care about, you know, like, you know, First World Problem Child isn't a political song, really. It's more just about fucking rich white kids, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what else to call it, but so we write about everything. We just write about what we care about, and if what I care, you know, we all write the lyrics together, but like, you know, if what we care about at the moment is the election, then we write the House Always Wins. You know, what if we care about, you know, fucking opioid crisis, then we write Outbreak, you know. And it's like, and if we care about fucking, you know, an ex, you know, girlfriend or ex relationship, and we write These Things Have to Fall Apart, you know, or whatever. So like, we write about a bunch of shit. We just write about what matters to us because we just believe in being genuine when we're on stage, you know.
So do you care about if the message reaches the people?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, I do. I mean, now it's like, you know, we're very fortunate with what we've been you know, because there's a lot of bands, right? I mean, everyone's in a fucking band, and a lot of bands don't get what we get, you know. So it's like, you know, and we'll see it, you know. Sometimes we'll go to like a practice room or a recording studio, and we'll see these people that are working really hard on their music and blah, and they don't really get a break, you know. We did. We're fucking lucky, and now we think that since we're that fortunate to get that, we should use it for something that matters. You know, people are looking at us. We're playing to 1,000 people tonight. Played to 1,000 people last night. We're gonna play to 1,000 people tomorrow. It's like, that's a lot of fucking people, and you know, that's why we thought, let's be a band that speaks about what we care about, and either they're gonna care or they won't care, and they care, you know, like, depends on where you go. If you go to Dallas, maybe not that much. If you go to London, you know, they care a lot, you know. It's like, it depends. So and that, you know what, I like that we could go places and they completely disagree with our band, so they don't like it, and then there's places where they completely agree with it and they like us more than anybody. So it's like, I want people to care. Of course I do. Like, I think what we talk about means something. That's why we talk about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if people agree, it's a good feeling, and we feel like it could open people's minds to seeing, you know, other shit, you know, and being a better person, you know, like, oh, maybe every rich white kid's got something to say, like, you know, maybe I do not realize that I've grown up with everything I need, and some people don't, and maybe I should take that into consideration when I live, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't, and that's why they fucking, you know, like, yeah, I can go on with that, but I'm just saying, like, if you could break that one song and they're like, oh, the song that everyone's saying, I like that, let me read the lyrics, and then it's like they read the lyrics and they go, you know what, like, maybe I do have a fortunate life, maybe I should be more considerate that people didn't grow up with what I have, you know. So it's like, that's the end goal, is that it, you know, plants seeds in people to be better people. That's what, like, I just want everyone to be a good person, you know. I mean, that's, in the end of the day, that's all I want. Ever, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
I could go on talking to you.
Same. I'm a fucking talker from you.
Yeah.
I don't shut the fuck up.
I see, but unfortunately, I think you're out of time, and I'm out of questions. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have a great night, and see you next time, hopefully.
100%.
Nice. Thank you. Goodbye.